Yeah, welcome back for another lesson of our terminal report system project. So I'm sure by now we've all finished with a cumulative record. So let's proceed to the next objective of this particular exercise. So basically, what we'll be doing is to design our terminal reports. So our terminal report will be in this particular format. But normally, when you are designing it in Microsoft Word, it becomes a problem. So what we do is we will design it in Excel and bring it back to Microsoft Word. So that is what we will basically be doing. So if you look at what you have on your screen, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So we will leave those 5 rows before we look at designing this section. And during the design of our terminal report, we did not include the non-academic bit of it. So this will not be included in our terminal report. But once you've gotten the skill, you can keep adding new variables to the report. Okay, so now let's open my C with Excel file. So yes, this is what we have now. So I will create a new worksheet. So once I click on it, the plus sign automatically, this new worksheet is created. So I'll bring it back here. Then I'll name it Terminal Report Design. Okay. So once you start the Excel worksheet, we have various views to this particular workbook. So I want to make sure that I'm working on an A4 sheet. So if I'm in the normal view, I wouldn't know the extent of the sheets that I'm working on. So I'll go to data. Okay, let me come to okay. I'll go to view tab, then I'll come to what page layout. So once you are in page layout, it at least gives you some idea about the page that you are working on. So basically, that is how this actually works. So let's wait for it to load. Then we will look at continuing. Good. So this is in page layout view. Then I'll need to go to page layout tab. Then what do? I look at the size. So the size that I'm talking about is an A4, which is perfect. Then I'll select narrow margins. So once I select narrow margins, it's been created. So I'll start with the first thing I do, the school's name. So the school's name for me is Former IT Training Services. So that is the first thing. Then probably our motto, bridging the digital divide. So it's a template you are creating. PO Box SW 400 Ghana Cedro Ghana. Telephone number being 23354990190. So that takes care of that. Website https:// sites.google.com. So I'm just taking advantage of the free website from Google, trying to reduce cost here. Then I'll do some spacing. Then I'll talk about email. So the email being fgh@gmail.com. So this is student academic report card. Good. So once I have this sorted, what do? I select this entire range, then I'll go to my home tab, then I'll do a merge in the center. I do same for this. I'll do merge in the center. I'll do same for that. I'll do merge in the center. I'll do same for this, merge in the center. Then I'll do same for this, merge in the center. So obviously make this bold, make this red, depending on your color preference. So I'll go for this. Then later I'll look at going for this as well. I'll make this bold. I go for that. Good. So the first item on our list should be the name of the student. So once we get a name right, so assuming the name should fill these, space. So merge and center. So assuming the name is Fifi, Fawoma, Obin, Amuakon, Ampon, Justice. So if a student happens to have this name, at least we've catered for the length of it, then we can talk about the aggregate. Because these are statistics we talked about. Then we look at probably aggregate. Then we look at other importance. Okay, so the name is there. We look at admission, the class, or the form. So we have class or form. Then we move to the term we are dealing with. Class or form term. Then probably we need to also look at number on row. Okay, so number on row. So once you look at number on row, just the statistics, and probably gender. Okay, so class or form should be okay. Then we leave a space. Then we look at the house the student is in. Then we look at what next. Okay. Look at academic here. So let me bring okay, academic here should be here. Academic here. The house. Okay. The house. Then probably if you, instead of giving them ID, you give them admission number. So okay, let me bring gender here. Sorry, number on row. I'll move the number on row here. Class. I'll cut and paste it here. So admission number like this. So what I'll do is I'll do a merge in the center and only center this. Then I'll do a merge in the center for this. So admission number. And I do this alignment. Instead of doing merge in the center, I'll do merge merge across. I'll do the time to merge across, merge across. Then the gender too should be merge across. So we put those individual values here. Then house too should be merge across. Number on row should also be merged across. Then we look at position in class. Position in class. So I'll do a merge across. Number on row like this. So academic here should also be done merge across. So let me bring my timer so that I know how many minutes I'm using for this. Okay. So you have the aggregate. Then we need to look at student average. So it means this is extended. I don't need this. Okay. So I need aggregate. So from aggregate, I'll go to class average. Student average mark. Class average mark. Then we look at grand total. Good. So at least these are the statistics for terminal report generation. So we do a merging across so that we have something which is consistent. Merge across and grand total merging across. Okay. So I think this pretty much solves it. Okay. So that is that. Should have done this merge in center. Merge in center again. Merge in center. Merge in center. Good. Then we can look at the serial number. Okay, so I can close this. Okay, so we can have the serial number for the subject 1, 2. So we do it up to 10. It was 11 subjects, so we do it up to 11. Let me come to the subject itself. So assuming Ghanaian language is our subject, then how do we merge? So I'll copy and paste, picking the longest name so that we have a general template. So this is sub 1. Good. We drag down. So this gives us our subject. So once I'm done with the subject, I'll look at class score. And this is into bracket what? 30%. Then we look at the exam score into bracket 70%. Total score, which into bracket 100%. Then we come to the grade. We come to remarks. Then we come to position in subject. So what we need to do is to wrap text. So once the text is wrapped, we have something like this. And we have our grade. So the remarks, the longest is probably excellent this. So we can open this up. Then we have something like this. Then we have our position in subject. Okay. So once we do this, we center them. Okay. Should come down. Okay, this remains where it's supposed to be. Now what I'll do is I'll close this up. Then open this. Okay. So our terminal report is really coming into focus. So let the name stand out. So what I'll do is I'll cut this, paste it here. Cut this, paste it, cut, paste, cut, and paste. Control S, Control V. So let this entire space be for the name. Okay. So I have something like this. So this is 100, just to make sure. Grade, let's say 1 or A1 or whatever your remarks. So the position subjects should be like that. Good. So aggregate, students, average mark, class average. So academic year, probably 2019, 2020. So let's see, 2019, 2020. So I'll do a merge in the center. The house to should be done. So here's the format painter. Format painter. Okay. Then I can also do a merge in the center format painter. I double click so that I can use it for as long as I need it. Right on check. So that's for positioning the subject. So if I want, okay, can close this. Then let me, this is size 11, so let me increase it, then make it 12. So 12 is okay. Then I change this to Vedana. Let me see Vedana. Okay, Vedana will give you something more readable. Okay, so I'll need to select and expand it. Okay, to some extent. So yeah, it's still working on that. So this should be admission number. Okay, class from term 1. So this is too small. Okay, admission number can be 2020 with some values or just the serial number that you put there, but it should be something very simple that goes in there. If you don't want this admission number, you can remove it. Class or form, probably 8H. Okay, should fit. Okay, then number on row. I think this is okay. Okay, this is too huge, so I need to come in here, expand it a little bit, and the remarks. So let's say I'm looking at the highest data entry reading system. So very good will be the unclassified offer will be the lengthiest. So let's see. I fail. Okay. So you're just adjusting. So this should be centered like this. Okay, so I think this is okay. If this doesn't work out, I'll make it a landscape. Okay, so I'll close this. Then I'll make this format. Then I'll need to center these. So once it is centered, this is what student class average mark. Okay. And I can close this a little bit, just so we are working on one page. And that's the idea. Just now, this is too much. Can create remarks. Then let's see. Ghanaian language. So can close this now. Okay, the 12 I think is a bit too much. Let me see if I can change it to landscape and see what's going to happen. So landscape, okay, I think landscape should be okay for our purpose. Okay, so we will maintain the landscape. So I'll go with the landscape. So I think that is it. So I come to home and make sure that everything ends with position in subject. So I'll come back one level to the merge in the center again, shift back arrow, do the merge in the center, undo, shift back arrow, undo, select, merge in the center, back arrow. So I come back one level. So the aggregate, I'll just do it for one. Okay. So once that is done, I will apply borders to it. So all borders. So what do I need? I need to make this bold. Control B. Make this bold. I move on to the next. Have to make it bold as well. Bold. Then this should also stand out. Good. So as we are doing that, it will definitely change the entire. Okay. Okay, something like this. Then we need to talk about a grade. Remarks. Then we have what? Position in what? Subject. Like this. So I think that is okay for now. Okay, we need to also work on admission number. So probably the admission number would be very long. So let me expand it a bit. Good. So this should be enough for the first phase of our terminal report. So I will just make this sub 1. Good. Then we can even talk about class teacher's remark, because we have all the statistics at the top. Our head teacher's remarks. So I'll cut and come and paste it here. I'll do a merge in a center, bring it back. I'll paste again, copy, paste, then class teachers remarks. So you have to work on automating those responses. So I'll do a merge in a center. I'll do a merge in a center. So this is purely academic. Then we make it bold. Then we focus on the next bit, which is the terminal report and cumulative record. Terminal report and cum rec. So that is what we are designing. So that is the format. I'm sure this is okay. So we still have, so when it comes to the cumulative record, we need to make some changes here. So the first bit of it would also repeat itself. Control C to copy. Then I'll do what? I'll paste it. By this time, you change this to transcript of academic record. Transcript of academic record. So as soon as the terminal report is generated, we should also generate a transcript of academic record. So I'll just copy this and paste and make some changes as we move along. So the name is there. Then we need to talk about date of birth, the academic record, dates admitted, then gender, then you look at nationality. So you have to go back to our student list to include those statistics. Okay, name, class, house, now date of birth, admission date, nationality. So I'll need to come and include gender here. Okay, so we can do that later on. So gender, nationality, then we have what? So you will not need all of these stuff. So date of birth, I will just merge in the center. Do a merge in the center. Do a merge in the center. Do a merge in the center. Select everything and do it this way. Then we have school year. So for the school year, we will have, okay, so school year, let me look at class. So class should come, Control V, I'll do a class. Then I'll come and talk about term, which is this. So we can have term 1, term 2, term 3. Then we have the average. Then we have term 4, term 5, term 6. We have the average. Then we have term 7. So what we do is we cannot do this here because if I try adjusting the rows, it will affect what is at the top. So the obvious thing to do is to cut it, create another worksheet for this particular cumulative record. So Control V to paste. So this will still be maintained as terminal report design.